Hey YouTube. Sorry it's been a minute. Been kind of getting myself used to getting my granddaughter to school every morning. It's been difficult, but hey, we do what we gotta do for our kids. So, today I thought I would tell y'all about my experiences as a foster parent. Now, I wasn't the average foster parent because I was a foster parent of my niece and nephew, the most horrible kids in the world. Now, this is probably going to be it's going to have a couple of parts. It's going to have a few parts. So, to start off, I got my niece age 13, got my nephew age 12. They're 11 months apart. My brother married this person of Caucasian persuasion. She was special, slow, a little bit of retardation, but he thought he could control her. Okay. That's a little backstory about them fools. Now, one day I'm sitting at the house and my godmother comes up and she's like, "Come here, come to the car, let me talk to you for a second." And I'm like, "What you want, lady? What's going on?" So I go to the car and she say, "I just want to let you know that your niece and nephew is in the system." I said, "I got more than one niece and nephew. Who are you talking about?" So when she told me which kids, I was like, why are they in the system? What's going on? Mind you, they lived 3 blocks from me. 3 blocks at this time. They lived 3 blocks from me. I didn't understand why she didn't tell me that she was having problems with the kids. I didn't understand why she didn't tell me that she needed help. Because we probably could have helped her keep the kids out the system. No. See, a little backstory. My brother is very violent. He used to beat the heck out of her. He used to, now mind you, they lived with me, I think she was 4 or 5 months pregnant when I went and got them. They were in a hotel downtown Sacramento. I think it was called the Berry. Most raunchiest hotel I ever seen. Most raunchiest hotel I ever personally been in. The room was so small, it was like a closet. Y'all, it was like a closet. And my brother's kind of a hoarder. He spends so much time in and out of penitentiary. Every time he goes to the penitentiary, he loses everything he got. So he's the kind of person that when he gets out, he tries to make up for everything he lost times 4 to the 3rd power. So, yeah. Okay. So, I call my mom. I say, "Hey, that girl down the street done lost the kids, and we need to go see what's going on." So, I have my mom drive down, come pick me up that next day. We go down to CPS, and this girl done told these people that the kids don't have no family. Everybody died. Mind you, she's still calling me, asking me for money because the kids need snacks for school. And then I find out she ain't even had the kids in a month. And I'm taking her snacks for 32 kids times 2 because she say she need help. Okay? So I pull out my ID. My mom pulls out her ID. We tell her the whole lineage. My mom explained how many kids she got, who they are. And see, my brother was one of these people that go to the penitentiary and then decide he's Muslim. Yeah. Excuse me. Decide he's Muslim. So he changes his name. So the fact that he changed his name, because my mom is telling her, you know, the full birth name. And I'm telling her, that's not what he go by. And she's like, I don't care what he go by, blah, blah, blah. I said, Mom. So I just happen to have one of his cross-reference numbers. I said, look, pull this up. You're going to see he looks just like my mom. You're also going to see who his 2 next of kins are, which is me and my mom. We are on his name. Anytime he goes to penitentiary, well, really they call me. I don't know why they only call me, but they call me. Y'all. Whew. Yeah. I guess to hear all mess. So, we're in there for 3 hours. 3. I get upset because the lady keeps trying to say, well, first, let me back up a little bit. The actual social worker didn't come out because she didn't believe that the kids had family, and she thought it was just somebody. The mother had told some people to come in there and pretend like they, family. So she wouldn't come out. I went to the desk and I said, hey, who has blah, 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 blah? Who's their case? The lady gives me the lady name. I said, well, is the lady here? She says, well, yeah, she's in her office. I said, well, we've been waiting for an hour for the social worker to come out and speak to us. So the receptionist says, well, I told her. I said, look, lady, I don't have time to play games. Can I speak to her supervisor? So the lady comes out. Less than 2 minutes, lady comes out. I explained to her the situation. She says, I just talked to her in the hallway. She said, you've been waiting for how long? I said, I looked at my phone. I said, now it's been like an hour and 20 minutes. She said, hold on. She go get her. 2 minutes later, here come the heifer. The heifer is beet red in the face. My mom has cut loose. I ain't seen her that mad in many years. I ain't seen her cuss like that in a long time. The lady says, well, I was told that they didn't have any family and that everybody was dead. I said, look, lady, who gonna come to CPS to look for kids that you don't want? All I want to know is my niece and nephew okay? I want to know, do they need anything? I wants to know what I can do, or if there's a way I can fix the situation, because I don't want them in the system. And if they're going to go in the system, I need them to be with me or my mama, one of them, both of us. At this time, my mom done talked me into trying to get joint custody, okay? I was like, I just got my kids out the house. I don't want no more kids. I just got to the point to where, you can come and go when you want to. You don't need no babysitter. Um, you ain't got to worry about, you know, people being in your house when you're gone, and the stuff you got to deal with when you're a damn parent. I didn't want to deal with none of that. My mom was like, she's just yapping. I was like, Mom, okay, I'm going to help you. But I'm not going to be the sole provider for these kids. I'm just not. I don't want to. So we start going to court. Now that the lady supervisor has gotten involved, everything just starts. The court date is like the next day, right? So we go to court. Excuse me, I have allergies, and for whatever reason, suddenly this whole side of my face is just clogged up. I don't understand. Every time I get ready to do a video, if I don't got gas, if I don't got a burp, it's something. That's why I'm all throaty. But anyway, and it's hot as hell. Y'all ain't had air conditioning in 2 months. These people talking about they're not sure when they're going to have us with no air. We were supposed to be originally on the 28th. That's in 2 days. But I went today and told the people, I was like, look, it's hot. I have cancer. This is making it very uncomfortable for me. It's aggravating my asthma. And if I end up in the hospital, I'm suing somebody. Okay? Because I pay my utilities. And part of my utilities is that I have air conditioning. Okay? I need for my air conditioning to work. Okay? Anywho. Sorry, I just went on the rant. Sorry. So, it takes us 6 months of going to court 3-4 times a month. Yeah, y'all. 3-4 times a month. Because the mama is lying. My brother lying. And it's an issue because they took all the kids, not just my 2. They took all the kids. She had 5 kids at the time. Now she got 7, but that's another story. She took the... They lied about my brother talking about they're not his kids. I'm like... Excuse me. I cut the umbilical cord for the little girl. I did that. What you mean that's not your baby? What? I was in the hospital. I took them to every appointment. Okay? Okay. When she came with me, she was already pregnant. And my brother is not the type of dude that would be somebody else's baby. Somebody else's father. That's not him. That's not him. Matter of fact, that's none of my brothers. None of them. They're not them type of dudes. So, as your kids go in the system, they make you go through all these classes. They make you jump through all these hoops. The girl was, at the time, she was doing summer, but the boyfriend that she had at that time was like, you don't got to do all that. They already took your kids. Just let them have them. So you with a dude that's telling you to forget about your kids, but yet he wants you to have kids for him. Make that make sense. I'm like, yo, and then we find out, okay, so my 2 is the 2 oldest kids, which are black and white. Her 2 middle kids are just white. And then the last little girl is Mexican, white and black. Because the boy was half Mexican and half black. Then we find out the lineage, I think that's the word. parentage of the 2 white kids. Come to find out, y'all, prepare yourself for this, because this is some crazy. Not only are they her brothers, but they're her kids. They're also her nephews. You heard me. Her baby dad was her brother. Same dad, different mamas. You heard me. So, that was like a 3-month thing. Because she kept lying, talking about, no, they're not this, no, they're not that. But the kids had they had problems that the other kids didn't have. And in order for them kids to have the problems that they had, it had to have been that the family, how you say, the lineage was too close. The bloodline was too thick. Something like that. So, when they do the DNA test come back. They her brothers. They her nephews. They her kids. Okay. We done wasted 2-3 months on that. Okay? Just on that. We're going back and forth to court just on that. Because the younger boy is in the hospital. And apparently he has seizures and... Oh, he has so many problems that they needed her to sign paperwork. Even though they had took the kids from her. And y'all, my brother was doing the most. I kid you not. My brother was an absolute embarrassment. An absolute embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment. He was like, I know you ain't trying to throw them white kids on me. Them is not my kids. And I'm not a little messing girl, ain't my kid either. Sir, they're only telling you about the first 2 kids. Why is you worried about the other 4? What's wrong with you, sir? What's wrong? I mean, the other 3. Sorry, it was 5 of them. Why is you worried about them? Why is you making a big issue? Why is the police having to throw you down on the ground? Stop, sir. Stop. Sit down. Just sit down. Excuse me. I almost threw up. Y'all, this cancer medicine, it is not the business. It is not the business. I can throw up at just any time. I don't even have to be nauseous. Ciao. Anyway, 6 months then pass. I finally start getting home visits, right? So I'm starting to get home visits before the kids come live with me. So by this time, I still don't want them kids. I don't want them kids. We're finding out the mom, y'all, the mom is using the baby girl to get men. The mom is taking pictures of the baby girl, saying it's her, meeting men in motels with the little girl, and they're sharing the men. She's 13. She's 13. I'm like, what is wrong with your mama? Mind you, I know she's special, because they also did a what you call it test to test her mentality, because she'd be sitting in court just giggling. Or she'd be sitting in court, you know, drawing on stuff or trying to talk to the kids. Now we're in court and we're sitting at a table that's like, it's like this. It's like a U. So it's like the social workers over here, the two kids, because the other ones was too young. Then it was the lawyers. Then it was me. Then it was CPS. No, the what do you call it? The people. Where is it? The other side of the lawyers who are trying to take the kids. The city lawyers or county lawyers. They're over here. Then it's the mama and the daddy. And then there's a police officer sitting by my brother. Because my brother is acting a fool. Every time he come to court, he acting a fool. Okay. Mama and my brother is in the audience. I didn't understand why I had to sit at the table. I didn't understand why I had to sit at the table. Because I didn't have nothing to do with none of that. I had to sit at the table. Okay. The kids are over there not listening because the little boy he kind of slow. He has an IEP and a 504. The little girl had a 504, which is, if you don't know what that is, and I had to learn because my kids didn't have none of that. It depends on their level of retardation or slowness, or level of retardation plus slowness. So, they tested the little boy. He is 9 mentally, but he was 12. 9 up here, but he was 12 in age, okay? They tested the mama and the grandmother, the maternal grandmother. The maternal grandmother's mentality was 12, age 12, but at that time she was like 50-something, or 60-something. 60-something, I believe. Excuse me, y'all. So, when they test the mom is 7 years old, and she was 40-something then. So, how is a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old supposed to raise children? Not just one kid or 2 kids, but 5. 5. How are y'all supposed to be raising kids? Hello? How? So once the kids got to be, and to this day, still, the little girl is ridiculous. Y'all, she was who I was telling the stories about, that I did a 3-part series on her. This is the beginning of how she got to be where she at. Her and her mom was sleeping in the bed naked. She thought she was going to do that with me. Little girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, go sit down. Because you ain't sleeping with me without no clothes on. And I ain't sleeping with you without no clothes on. Have you lost your mind? I will slap the 5 from you. So she gonna get mad and call the CPS lady. CPS lady comes out. She tells me, well, if that makes her comfortable. I said, lady, have you lost your absolute mind? Now, those wasn't the words that I used, but it's the words I'm using on here because I ain't trying to get, my thing taken down. Okay. This heifer say, well, if it make her more comfortable, then you should do that. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not doing it. And I told her to get up out of my house with that mess. So I started writing stuff down. So everything that she was telling the girl, I started writing it down. All the inappropriateness, all the, you know, then I find out the little girl is taking cooter pictures and posting them. She didn't have no boobies, but she was letting everybody see what she had. She was letting everybody see what she had. And she didn't care. She thought that was how you get people to like you. By having sex. And I was like, girl, everybody ain't supposed to taste the rainbow. They're not. Everybody ain't supposed to taste the rainbow. They're not. They're not. You're supposed to make people want you. And they're supposed to never get you. Or the few that get you is supposed to be few. Not a lot. This girl. She was liking boys. She was liking girls. Anybody, this little girl said, y'all get this. I want you to prepare yourself for this now. You see, I'm at 26 minutes. Okay. I'm going to make this a little series. Okay. Okay. If they're looking at me, then they must want to have me. I say, girl, just because somebody look at you, that don't mean they want to have sex with you. What's wrong with you? Yeah. I say, I don't know what's wrong with you, homegirl, but I think that you need to start seeing a psychiatrist. So I started her to seeing a psychiatrist. She say she don't want to go no more because she don't want to constantly repeat herself. I said, little dummy, every time you meet somebody, you repeating yourself. Every time it's a new relationship, you repeating yourself. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a sex ship, whether it's a, hey, how you doing ship. You're repeating yourself. No matter what you do, you're repeating yourself. It took her to age 23 now. I think she's 23. She's 22 or 23. I forgot. She was either born in 01 or 02. I forgot. Anywho. Now she can finally realize. She's like, Auntie, you know what? You're right. You do repeat yourself every... I said, exactly. So why you couldn't talk to a doctor? Make it make sense. You're out here talking to these people that you're never going to see again. Because all you want to do is hump them. Once y'all hump, y'all don't have nothing to talk about. So you stop dealing with them. Or they stop dealing with you. Because all they want to do is hump. You can't keep a friend because you don't have no boundaries. You don't believe in that friends don't have sex with friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, sisters, brothers, cousins. You just don't do that. It's an unwritten rule. Why she don't know that? She say, Auntie, I ain't never heard of that before. I said, because you ain't never heard of it don't mean it don't exist, ma'am. Ma'am. We all live by rules. I said, regardless of what you say you don't have no rules, you don't want to have rules. The fact that how you live your life is a rule. How you go about doing things is a rule. How you want things to be done for you, by you, to you is a rule. You don't understand that? So when people say they don't want to live by rules, what is you talking about? Everything in life is a rule. Everything is a guideline. Everything. Okay, we're at 30 minutes. So I think it's probably going to take me 3 or 4 settings to tell this whole story. So I'm going to end this right here. Let's stay blessed. Let's be tolerant. Let's realize we are enough. Let's realize we are smart enough. Let's realize that we are who we are. Unapologetically, we are who we are. Accept it. Be it. Live it. Let's love a little more. Y'all know this president that we got, he making this world a horrible place. We finally just kind of got this place where it isn't so horrible if you're brown. He's finna bring it back to where they're going to start just killing us. So we need to be tolerant. We need to love more. We do. We do. We need to be open. We need to be honest. We need to not be running around here lying to folks. Then when you get called out being emotional and folding up like chairs. No, stop it. Stop it. If you don't lie, you don't have to remember what you say. That part. Let's be real. Let's love one another. Let's talk. Sorry, I thought I seen something. You know, I live in this old people place, and there'd be shadows and stuff running around this joint. And my baby girl said, "Grandma, I seen an old man staring at us." I said, "Where?" She goes, "It was a shadow." So now she's starting to see him. I'm like, "Girl, it's just a ghost." She's like, "I don't want no ghost doing nothing to me." I said, "Baby, a ghost can't do nothing to you. They cannot." I said, "We accept them. We tell them to move over. Matter of fact, put something on this rent. Since you want to be here, put something on this rent and be quiet. Go sit down somewhere." But let's live, let's love, let's laugh. Let's try and teach our daughters, you need to love yourself before anyone can love you. Because if you don't love yourself, how are you going to believe that someone loves you? We need to teach our sons that women ain't supposed to be paying bills. You ain't supposed to be beating her up because you don't like her. Going somewhere, having friends, whatever. Talking back. She an adult, but she can't talk back. Now you want to beat her up. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Let's make our kids realize that we need to love each other in order to love each other. Let's do that. So I will talk to y'all soon. Peace out. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to me. I'm kind of funny sometimes. I tell a good story. I do. See you later.